Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, bring you guys awesome interviews. And today, it is an honor and privilege to have the lead vocalist of Sparzanza on the phone with me. His name is Fred. They have a 8th album that's out right now entitled Announcing the End. And I hope I pronounced the record company right. It's called Despotz Records. And you want to check this out. So Fred, how's it going, my man?
Doing pretty good here. It's pretty late here, but hey, it's Saturday, so what the hell?
The day is young, my friend, still. Ma.
Yep, it is. It is.
So, Fred, man, what's impressed you the most about making this new album? I mean, this is the 8th one from you guys. What's caught your eye about it, if anything?
Yeah, well, I would say we have used a totally new guy for mixing the album for the first time. And I think it turned out pretty fucking awesome. And I think the cover is awesome too. Made by an artist, a Greek guy. So, and it's 11 pretty good songs. I mean, what's not to like about it?
Who actually produced this album?
The producer, it's produced by us, okay. And a guy called Richard Lövgren, a guy from our hometown. He has been producing us since our 3rd album, I think. He's like the 6th member of the band, really.
Working with him since your 3rd album, does he pretty much just let you guys go your own way and step in when he needs to? How's working with Vic on this?
Since he is the 6th member, he has pretty much a say just as much as we do. So, I mean, he has opinions, and we simply, take a vote about it. It's a democracy in this band. So his opinion is just as valuable as ours when we do this, recording stuff.
Any songs off the new album that stand out more to you than any on it as of right now, if any?
Well, my personal favorite, I'd say, is a song called The Trigger, because I think it's more back to our roots kind of stuff, 70s stoner metal stuff. It sounds more like we did when we began way back, and it's got a real, bob your head kind of riffs. Pretty simple song, but it's really, makes you want to jump, I think. So I think it's a catchy tune. I love that one.
Do you guys do anything differently during the writing and recording process to help keep your minds open and fresh to new stuff, to not let the music get stale on? I mean, I know sometimes it happens, but do you guys do anything differently?
Yeah, well, we always write in pairs in the band. We never write songs together, everybody. So, I mean, the thing we do is we mix these pairs of two. We mix up. I mean, one day I can write a song with the guitarist, and the next day I can write it with the bass player or whatever, and then we try to get going around. So when we do that, we got a lot of different kind of songs. So I think that's a good way, at least for us, to work with.
Being this is your guys' 8th album, how much growth musically have you seen yourself and this band go through up to the release of this album, or has it just been more of a personal growth for each of you guys?
I mean, we've been doing this for 20 years, and of course, I think we have, become better songwriters along the way. I think it's easier to write songs now than it was in the beginning, and I don't know if it's more of a personal way, but I think it's different depending on who you're asking in the band, actually. Since not really everybody in the band is writing songs. It's just me, the guitar players, and the bass player. The drummer doesn't really write songs, maybe more like riffs and stuff. But I think it's pretty much the same procedure as always,
What do you hope the fans take away from the new album once they start listening to it, or just Sparzanza's music in general?
I think, for those who have been with us since the beginning, I think they will mostly notice that we have, taken a couple of steps back, musically that is, towards how we used to sound. For those who haven't heard us before, I think it'll be, I don't know, 70s metal with dark lyrics. I mean, if you're into that shit, then you will appreciate it, I think.
Let me ask you this. You guys have been around for 20 years. You being around that long, do you think that it hurts a band to actually go outside of that box of playing what the fans are standardly of hearing from you guys? Do you think that, a band should try that at least a few times to see what sparks?
Yeah. Well, we have never really, played what the fans want us to play. We have always, done what we like to do.
Right.
Because we're doing this basically because we love playing music, not because we want to be famous, So I don't think that has influenced us in some way. But as you say, I think stepping out of your box could be a good thing. And that's what we're at least try to do a little bit with this album by, going back to our roots, how we really want to sound, That's just simple riffs, catchy, groovy, bob your head kind of music. So, yeah.
For the fans that's not got to see Sparzanza yet live, what can they expect at a show from you guys, man?
Well, they can expect a real sweaty gig. A lot of heavy riffs, catchy tunes. We have been described as one of the best live bands in Sweden. So, I don't know, a good performance, I hope. A really good show. That's what we always try to do, That's our number one goal when we go up there, to give the audience, well, not spectacular in a like a not like a Rammstein show, but musically simple but riffy, cool, heavy music. Just the way I like it.
We're living in the digital era of recording albums and social media. Do you like this that we're in right now? Do you think it helps you guys to get out there even more for being around as long as you guys have?
Yeah, I mean, I think the internet is good, and it's also bad, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It's good because there's a lot of bands you can reach out there, find new fans. You can find bands everywhere, but also there's no quality control out there. There's a lot of shit bands also getting out, So, and people don't buy records anymore. They just, listen to Spotify or iTunes or whatever. Digital shit. Personally, I don't like that because I buy my records. I think they sound better. I prefer vinyl. But yeah, like I said, I think it's good and bad. So to get out there, it's good, but otherwise it's not that good.
Support-wise, is there a country or region that stands out more or surprises you that Sparzanza gets support from that area?
Yeah, I would say, I mean, right now we are biggest in Finland actually, but it doesn't stand out to us. I mean, I'd say it's your home country.
Oh wow.
We have a lot of fans there, and I didn't even know, that people have heard us. So I was pleasantly surprised actually. There's a lot of people who wants us to come over and play there, and we're looking into it. We're this time we will try to make it happen.
In your own opinion, Fred, what does Sparzanza bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now, if anything?
It's really hard to be original these days. I mean, you have everything, but there's a lot of bands with dark lyrics, of course. But I think if you combine it with our kind of music, we have our own style, so to speak. It's really, catchy tunes with really, really dark lyrics. And that I haven't heard any band who has done it quite like us. So if you're into that, you could almost, call us like a goth metal band, maybe something like that. I think, yeah.
Is there a show or a moment that stands out more to you than any that you can recall being part of Sparzanza that you can recall possibly?
Yeah. I would say there was a festival in Finland once where Anthrax was supposed to do a gig.
Uh-huh.
But they had to cancel in the last minute, so they called us in instead. Not that we sound nothing like Anthrax. I mean, they are basically a thrash band, but we are just as big, if not bigger, than they are in Finland, at least. So we had, shake our asses to Finland in like a day's notice and play for, 15,000 people. That was pretty amazing.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So that was cool.
And the
replace Anthrax.
And the cool part about that, and I'm not knocking U.S. festivals or anything like that. I'm not doing that, but I'm just saying this because it's a fact, and Fred can back me on this, where he's overseas.
Yeah.
The festivals overseas are amazing. You can be any band. You know, you can strike any chord at the beginning of the song, and that's it. Everybody else is taking over. The whole crowd sings it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of festivals here, especially, I mean, for hard rock, it's like Mecca.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a hard rocker, you like hard rock, all the bands, even, American hard rock bands wants to play on the European hard rock festivals because they are huge. There's a lot of hard rockers here in Europe, and that's a good thing.
And it's like a holiday over there when these festivals kick off.
Yeah, it is. Everybody's longing for the festivals. Yep. You can go to festivals all weekends during the summer, all over Europe. It's amazing, actually.
I want to come over there.
Yeah, and I want to come over there.
Well,
maybe we should switch places for a weekend.
We'll just say hi as we pass on the planes in there. Hey, Fred.
Yeah, exactly. meet in the middle.
Yeah, there you go. So what made you want to become a musician? What was that spark for you that said that's what I want to do right there?
Well, here in Sweden we have these really long, cold winters, and in school we have, you can learn to play an instrument for free if you want. So, I mean, everybody wants to play the guitar, right?
Sure.
And, I mean, so it doesn't take long until they start a band. And what else to do when it's cold and, the winter is full on? You got to play in the band, right? So, I mean, it was the same thing for me. Started out playing as a drummer, playing punk. That was easy.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. From there on, it turned from punk to hardcore, and from hardcore into, like Chili Peppers-esque music, or Faith No More, stuff like that. And then we found out it was way easier to find a drummer than a singer. So I had to start sing. So I, formed the band. We had some success here in my hometown. It was basically like a hardcore band. And then I joined Sparzanza in 2000. So I have basically played all my life. And you can also, here in Sweden, if you start like a circle, if you put up a band and you start like a educational circle, you actually get paid to play.
Nice.
So our government is really supportive to music here in Sweden. That's why we have so many bands on so few people in this small country. I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I did not know that they pay the bands like that over there. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it is.
Let's talk about the punk deal here just a little bit. You had me at punk there. So who are some of your influences on punk? Because I absolutely love punk music.
Yeah, well, when I was, like 12, 13, I listened a lot to bands like Ramones, of course. It was Sex Pistols, Exploited, UK Subs, GBH, a lot of British punk bands, a lot of Swedish punk bands.
Yeah.
From the 70s. I like the old punk. I'm not so into the, Blink 182 shit. I don't think that's punk,
Right. I agree.
That's more like a radio surf fake punk stuff.
Yeah.
So these were the kind of bands I listened to and wanted to play. So really influenced by those real punk bands from the 70s, early 80s.
So here's the $1 million question for you. If you could work with any musician that has passed away or is alive or any band that you want to get back together for just a couple of days, who would you choose, Fred?
Oh, that's a very good question. There's a lot of people to choose from. I mean, I guess people would say, "Oh, Elvis Presley." Yeah, well, he didn't write his own music.
There you go.
I would say, I don't know, John Lennon, maybe.
Nice.
Yeah, I think he was a genius. But I mean, if we talk more recent guy, like a misunderstood genius-ish, I'd say, I don't know, Kurt Cobain, maybe. He seems like a cool dude. Write pretty darn good songs.
True. I'm sure you guys get this a lot, even at your shows, but what's it mean to you when you receive an email from a fan or prior to the shows or after the shows? They tell you that Sparzanza's music has pulled them through a bad experience or gave them inspiration to overcome obstacles, or it's just made them to relax and get away from the everyday bullshit that we go through. What's that mean to you guys?
Oh, that means everything. We get that a lot, actually, because we touch those subjects in our songs. We have a lot of dark lyrics and stuff about suicide or death or whatever, and we have that a lot. People coming up, oh, you really helped me through a tough period. And I think, that's the only receipt I want, really, for writing music: helping somebody, touching somebody. Really reach in there, make somebody, go through a hard period in his life or her life or whatever. That's the $1 million prize for the $1 million question, I'd say.
Sure. Folks, Sparzanza's 8th album is out, entitled Announcing the End. You can pick it up right now. Fred, how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, this album, tour dates? How can you do that, my friend?
Easiest way is, of course, to go to Facebook or our homepage at www.sparzanza.com. You can find everything you need to know there.
And before I let you go, good sir, would you care to do a promo for my show?
Of course. I will even try to do it in a southern accent.
Oh, Lord. No. Here we go.
I'm just kidding. Hey there, this is Fredrik, vocalist from Sparzanza, and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. We got some great, great music coming up, and you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Pick up Sparzanza's new album. Check it out. Like this band. Get some more of these for them guys over here to rock out in the U.S. for us. Thank you so much, Fred.
Thank you, man.